Hey guys, it's been quite a while since I've done a vlog, and so I thought I'd just do one for you guys. I finally came up with a topic. It took me a while to get one this time, but yeah. So today I'm going to talk about careers I wanted throughout my lifetime. I'm 19 in college going for a career right now, so hopefully I picked the right one, and I'm pretty sure all the ones before it were definitely not the right one, so yeah, let's just get to it. Okay, so when I was like maybe 4 or 5 and first understanding what careers were, I really wanted to be a ballerina, like so bad. But I lived in the middle of the country, long ways from any city, and my mom was like, "There's no way I'm gonna drive you into the city just so you can be a ballerina." And truth be told, I'm really clumsy. That would have been a really bad choice. Maybe I would have more grace if I was raised doing ballet, but I never had the shot. So yeah, I did do like gymnastics for a little bit when I was little, but they closed like not long after I started, so I didn't even get to do that very much. Yeah, that dream died pretty quickly, but the second thing I wanted to be growing up, when I was like maybe 7 or 8ish, I had this friend whose parents owned a ranch and they boarded horses and they trained horses. And my favorite animal was horses. I was a freak about horses. Like, I was so excited to have this friend. I was so pumped. And so I didn't get to go to her house that much. And didn't even get to ride any of her horses. It turned out not being the best friendship ever, just because I was probably mostly friends with her for her horses. But I was like, wow, I just totally want to be like her parents someday and own a ranch and board horses and train horses because, like, I love horses. Even though I've never owned one before, I'm totally gonna do this. Like, no, not a good idea. Yeah, but, I don't know. Growing up, I always knew so much information on horses. People always thought I owned them, but I never did, and I still never have. Yeah, so probably not gonna be a horse trainer in my future. Then once I was getting into 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade, and that was when I was first really introduced to my own music taste. Like growing up, I'd always just had the oldies radio station and that's it. Like I was never told that there was anything else to music. And then like I started to realize that there were actually like artists and you could pick favorites and have your own taste in music. I don't know why it took me so long to get to that point, but so like I picked Taylor Swift as like my first big idol. I was like, yeah, this she's so cool. Her and her big curly wavy hair, and she sings like slightly country but also slightly rock, and that's really cool. Of course, she's a lot different now, but back then she was like my huge idol. And be just like Taylor Swift. That's a great idea. So then I was like, I am totally gonna be a pop star someday. Or, at the least, a songwriter for Taylor Swift, which was really dumb because she writes her own songs. Why would she need somebody to write her songs for her? Especially when they are full of middle school angst and depression and anxiety and weird stuff that doesn't need to be sang out loud to the world. Yes, I don't know why. I'm really shy. I probably have stage fright. I've never even gotten onto a stage to see if I have stage fright because I'm too scared to get on the stage. So I think that's a form of stage fright. Do verses with the same syllables and rhyme schemes and stuff, and then the chorus would repeat, of course. And I'd write bridges, and I kind of got good at writing it, so it'd be easy to turn it into a song. But I didn't know how to write music for a song. I just wrote lyrics back then. And then in 9th grade, I was like, my mom owns a guitar. I own lyrics. I can totally do this pop star thing if I just put the two together. So, yeah, I taught myself guitar and I started just putting random chords to my songs that sounded good. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I am this awesome songwriter. Oh, where am I going to go with this? Pretty much all that I've done is I've posted videos on YouTube of me singing a couple of the songs, which, that's something. And then one time I did a talent show with a song I wrote. That didn't go so well because the judges were like, you're too shy, you never looked up, and I don't even remember if I sounded good or not. I'm assuming I did, but it was a song I wrote for a guy I knew was going to be there, and that was just not a good situation. Like, that was way too nerve-wracking. I shouldn't have done that to myself, but I did, so. My pop star career pretty much ended after that. I kind of lost interest. I kind of grew up a little bit. I decided that that was really unrealistic. It was a hobby, and I still occasionally played guitar and stuff, and I mean, sometimes I'd write lyrics, but it became less and less, and that hobby just kind of faded out because it wasn't going to be a career, and I don't know why I ever thought it could be, because really, I'm not a pop star. It's not me. The next career I thought maybe I wanted, I had to write a paper like halfway through ninth grade about a job, a career, and I was like, well, I can't write about being a pop star. The teacher's not going to take me seriously if I do that. So she wanted us to like research a career we didn't know much about. And I was kind of thinking about stuff, and I was like, well, I like kind of making up movies in my head. Like, I'll be riding in a car, and then, like, well, this camera angle and that camera angle, ooh. And so I kind of tried to look up a term for what that was, and I came up with cinematographer. Now, cinematographers are the people who the directors tell what angle they want stuff. They're like, I want this, and then the cinematographer makes the final decision of what you're gonna see through the camera, and they kind of control the camera and what you see. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I wrote my paper on it, and I was like, man, this would be so much fun. This would be a great career. Once again, I live in the middle, like, rural farmland for miles, nothing anywhere. Like, where am I going to be a cinematographer? Unless I move out to California. So, yeah, that kind of was a bust. It wasn't very realistic for me to believe that I was going to hike out to California to try and become a cinematographer, even though I didn't even know if I could do that. So I moved on from that, and the rest of my high school career, I was slowly deciding my final career that I should really shoot for. So I really liked art classes, but I didn't know what to do with that. My art teacher told me there's only two things you really can do to get money in art. Either become an art teacher or somehow work in electronics with art, like graphic design or animation. Now, I know I'm not an animator. I've seen so many animation majors here at my college, and they seem so airheaded and, like, no offense, like, I don't mind you guys, but they're just such dreamers, and they all want to work for Disney, and they all just think they're gonna make it. And I'm like, guys, all 50 of you ain't gonna make it, okay? Half of you are gonna be stuck somewhere else, so, like, don't set your soul on that. And I don't know, I'm just such a realist. I could never believe that I would actually make it there. So I was like, well, maybe graphic design. So my senior year of high school, I took a graphic design class and loved it. Okay? And I don't like the, like, create your own people in Photoshop and, like, digital art kind of. I liked making logos and business stuff, like letterheads. I don't even know why, but it was just so fun to me. And so then I did a job shadow where I helped a company create a t-shirt that was based off an old meme, and I was like, yeah, no big deal. And yeah, that worked out really well. So I was just like, this is a perfect job. I love this so much. I just really want this. And so then I was like, alright, going to college for that. Yep, let's do it. So that is where I'm headed, graphic design, and I think it will be the right choice. It's much better than the previous choices. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video was interesting, entertaining, I don't know, whatever. If you liked it, you could give it a thumbs up or whatever. I don't know. If you want, you could suggest a vlog topic for me. Usually I just prefer coming up with my own nowadays, but it kind of took me a long time to come up with this last one, so if you could help, that would be okay. I would not mind. Yeah.